Hopefully we get a sequel.
Why didn't you change your hair color for the Resident Evil?
She was like, oh my God.
There's so many Easter eggs in this.
It felt so real. I think fans of the games are going to lose their mind.
Hi, Robbie. How are you?
Hey, Artem, how are you?
I'm good. I'm actually great because, this is a great opportunity. I'm a fan of Resident Evil games and, you're perfect Chris Redfield. So.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of them too. It means a
yeah,
lot.
that was actually my question because I talked to Tom and Tom said like Robbie played the games and he's like a fan. So are you a gamer? Do you play?
I am. I grew up playing hockey and video games. That's what I did as a kid. And, one of my earliest childhood video game memories is playing Resident Evil in the basement in the dark and the dogs jumping through the window and just scaring the living hell out of me. And I mean, I've been a big fan for a long time. I was a big fan of the movies with Mila. And my buddy Sean Roberts played Wesker in them. I've seen every one. I thought they were awesome. And then just getting to be a part of this and kind of do the Resident Evil that is more of an adaptation of the games and a little more true to the source material. I think fans of the games are going to lose their mind.
Yeah, I lost my mind watching trailer. So, did you actually watch the trailer reactions on YouTube or something like that? Did you watch any content?
I haven't seen any of the trailer reactions. I actually really like trailer reactions, but literally the trailer came out while I was in Vancouver shooting another movie, and then I had 5 days off, and then I started another movie in Toronto. So I have not had a whole lot of time to do anything other than work and be a dad. I have a 2-year-old right now.
And you said you're watching trailer reactions sometimes, right? So how do you respond to them? Do you take them personally? Like, do you feel like emotional something?
I think that what I have learned, having done movies that I think are good and movies that I think are okay and movies that I think are not as great, I think that I have found that movies are subjective and you can't make something for everybody, and you have to take the good with the bad, because I've done things that, were not received well, and yet it's, somebody's favorite movie. Somebody has come up to me and said, that was my favorite movie. I watch it all the time. And you're like, hey, then you are who that movie was for. So, I try not to take things personally. It always feels better when something is more liked than disliked, but you can't please everyone. So you have to feel good about what you did at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true. And did you borrow something from the set?
Props gave me a couple of things. I would have liked to have taken a flak jacket, but I'll try and hopefully we get a sequel and I'll steal it then.
So there's talks about sequel already.
I mean, the movie ends in a way where it's very much open to a sequel, but as you know, at the end of the day, success leads to more movies, and if it's not successful, then they won't make one. So fingers crossed we do well. We get to keep this going. The cast was amazing. The crew was amazing. I would love to continue making Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, I love the franchise. I love like the video game franchise. So I'm very excited for the continuation too. So last question, I have only 2 minutes remaining. So how did you respond when you got the offer to play the role in the movie? Were you excited?
I was blown away. I met with Johannes, my agent phoned, and they were like, hey, we're talking to Resident Evil about you. I'm going to send you the script, read it. And if you like it, you can meet with the director. And I was like, I want to meet with the director. They're like, well, read it. I was like, no, I'll read it. But I know that the answer is yes. So I read it. I met with Johannes, and we geeked out for an hour talking about the games and talking about his adaptation and talking about the tone and what was important to, bring over. And it was just great. I could tell that he was a fan of the games, and he was the right person to kind of spearhead this adaptation. And then at the end of the call, he was like, well, I'd really love to make this movie with you. So hopefully it works out. And he hung up, and I was like, did I just book this thing? I walked out to my wife. I'm like, I think I got it. And she was like, oh my God. And it ended up being me. And I mean, total dream come true for me.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Okay, man, it was really nice talking to you. I wish you a great day and box office success.
Oh, thanks, Artem. Nice talking to you.
Take care. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hey, Artem, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great, actually, to have a chance to meet with you and to talk. I have a YouTube channel about movies, not only movies and video games. So it's kind of my thing. And I'm a big fan of Resident Evil games, so I'm very excited. So my first question to you, do you watch YouTube videos? Have you watched any videos about Resident Evil, like trailer reactions maybe or something like that?
I didn't watch any trailer reactions. We were just talking about how we watched a bunch of the playthroughs as research, because there's just so much content. There's so much resources for Resident Evil for us to look at as far as actors going into it, and it's yeah, super cool.
So you haven't seen any like trailer reactions of people?
No. Did you do one?
I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest.
No, I did actually, but yeah, that was not like a big thing for me, because I did like a breakdown for Easter eggs and comparisons of all the
there's
scenes
great
and
Easter
stuff.
eggs in this movie. There's so many good ones. I was okay. So one of the cool moments, I was walking through like one of the basement sets or whatever, and like in the deep background, there's like a little green herb, like from the games, like in the deep background. I was like, that's the sort of stuff that adds for me. I would love to see in a movie. So I was happy to see it.
Blue and red ones. Have you seen any?
They're all over. They're littered throughout, and there's like a typewriter beside me in the lobby of the police station. So there's so many Easter eggs in this.
There are.
So you said you watched playthroughs, but did you play the game yourself? Have you played?
Yeah,
I know Tom played, right?
I played 4 growing up, and then I replayed the reskin, the remaster, because it's not really a reskin; it's a remaster. So I played that, and what else did I play? I played a little bit of Village. I played a lot of stuff.
I got it. And I've noticed that you've changed your color hair.
Yeah, I shot a movie.
Did you do it for the movie?
for the press, for the movie. Yeah, that's no. Can you imagine? No.
I really like to go a different color for the press.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go with the blonde because Leon.
That's what was my question actually.
No. I my hair's blonde because I did another film. But I'm always changing my look up for stuff.
Why didn't you change your hair color for the Resident Evil?
Well, I think
was it like
Johannes early on was sort of expressive about wanting to take the role of Leon or take the part of Leon and change it and not change it totally, but allow sort of it to take on its own life in the film, which I was open to that idea and concept. And for me, like as far as being faithful to Leon and because again, Leon's my guy. Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games, period, and a sentence. Yeah, I was like very adamant about behavior and stuff that I could mine from him, and like making sure that I got parts of Leon's personality and behavior that I could hold on to, while still maintaining what Johannes and everyone had discussed about going in a different direction.
Tom, what about you? Did you play Resident Evil games?
Yeah, I played my first encounter with Resident Evil was with the very first game in the 90s when I was a kid. So I kind of grew up with that franchise, with the earliest versions of the game. And it was weird going back to look at, because like I say, I went and did some of the walkthroughs on YouTube of the first game. And it's mad to see how much it's dated, like where graphics have gone.
Yeah.
In the last, we're talking like 20, 25 years, so it was really interesting. But at the time when I played it as a kid, it felt so real.
Yeah, I know.
It felt like I was there.
Yeah, and then you look at it and you're like, what?
Yeah, I know.
Scare me ever.
I was like, maybe it's because it's a YouTube video or something, but it doesn't feel as
No, it's
good.
not. It's not. It's just literally that, you know, there's
Well,
nothing
it's
else
like
to
what you're
compare it to.
conditioned to, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So what you
You're-
remember of what was great graphics then, you just got nothing to relate it back to. So
No.
whereas now, obviously, you do. But yeah, so like I did that, and then obviously when I looked at walkthroughs of the new games and the most recent ones, and it was like they're like movies in themselves, you know, in terms of what you go through emotionally through those things. Like it's insane. So yeah, it was. So for me, going into making the movie and then kind of rekindling all those feelings I had from when I first played the games, and then seeing all that when I'm making it and going into the mansion and stuff was amazing. It was so nostalgic. It's brilliant.
I can imagine. Okay, yeah, thanks for your time, guys. I need to wrap up.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Autumn.
It was nice
Thanks,
to meet you.
Autumn.